For the past couple days, there has been some significant drama in Star Citizen, and I have been asked numerous times from not just my Discord, but also the comment section and the community features on YouTube to weigh in on it. If you are here for an opinion piece about that particular incident, and for drama about that incident, I'm simply not going to give that to you. That is not what this channel is about. Because quite frankly, I simply don't care. This is nothing new. This has happened before and it'll happen again. I just don't care. Pretending like it is this outrageous thing that has never happened, and that clutching my pearls and saying, oh, the sanctity of Star Citizen is ruined by this. That's not what about that. And also, listening to that clown talk for 30 minutes is a Herculean effort. Doing it for 90? Sitting there for 90 minutes and listening to him drone on is Sisyphean. Simply not going to do it. But what I will weigh in on is the impact that this has in the game and what's actually really happening. What's the real danger is for Star Citizen here, and what this means for just normal people playing the game, now and in the future. The reason why things like this happen is that the world is truly nuts. Everybody has gone insane. If you've been gaming since the early 2000s or the late 90s, when MMOs first started to become popular, you will know that MMO players have always been a little bit different. They've been unique. But they are nothing compared to the modern gamer, the modern human even, not just gamer. People are nuts. They've got, in their mind, they have nothing to lose. In the world, they are, and I hate to use that phrase, but they're terminally online. They're constantly plugged into this stuff. They have no true sense or track of reality. The reason why this happens in Star Citizen is multifaceted. In games like Star Citizen, where, and right now nothing matters, by the way, nothing in this game matters. There's nothing to lose. But speculatively, in any game where there is a serious risk of losing land, power, control, anything, okay? Players are going to often do, at the upper echelons of competitiveness, they're going to do whatever it takes to succeed and prevent that from happening. It does not matter what game it is. I played World of Warcraft. Gotta hate that game, but I played World of Warcraft. I did RBGs. I was the top warrior for RBGs. I played at a very high level in that game. And people, as you got past a certain point in rating, criminal actions such as DDoSing became the norm, okay? People would commit a federal offense to DDoS a member of an opposing team just so they could win a game and get more magic number ratings to go up, all right? They would socially manipulate and engineer and do everything else. And this was, mind you, a trivial, simple 10v10 video game that was competitive. And that was years ago. It's only gotten worse now. The reason why things like this are happening in Star Citizen, especially amongst the PvP community, are egos. I have said this in numerous videos. I like to rag on the PvE players, like the hardcore, like the Care Bears, not just your regular people, right? I want to be very clear about that. But I would always bring up the dangers of the hardcore PvP people. The people that live in AC or Star Marine and where ego is everything, where winning is everything. Those people are just as destructive as the PvE players, on the extreme end of the horseshoe theory, because people seem to think I was making a political reference with that when I say left and right on the horseshoe theory. But if you watched my previous video, the extreme left of the horseshoe were malicious Care Bears, and the extreme right were sweaty PvP nerds. They both do the same thing. They go at a game, they dox, they harass, they do player versus developer, where they make concerned troll threads trying to get players banned or have systems or mechanics changed or removed for their own game. They're all the same. But the PvP players in this scenario are the ones driving this. They're the ones driving all of this drama over absolutely nothing in a game where nothing matters. What do you think is going to happen when land or territory or space have some sort of control that players will have over it? Do you think that this is just going to stop? Nothing's going to be done to change it. Nothing can be done to change it. What can change the nature of a man? Nothing. Nothing can change the nature of man. Nothing can change the nature of sweaty MMO gamer nerds either. They're going to do this. They're going to do whatever it takes to win. That is why I am against direct player ownership, and I am heavily in favor of soft factions and player influence. But that's another video for another day. EVE Online is notorious for this. EVE Online always has this stuff happening. It's the norm. It's just the way it is. But there's one key difference that EVE has that Star Citizen doesn't have, is that in EVE, if you run your mouth, if you do a hit piece on YouTube for views, if you were to do that in a game like EVE or any MMO where there were serious consequences for your actions and people would get you in-game, whether it's destroy your holdings, camp you at a warp gate, whatever, people would be a lot more mindful of what they say. Star Citizen doesn't have that. It's a very safe game. Because like I said, you don't really lose anything. I could make a hit piece about anybody in Star Citizen right now. It doesn't matter whether it's true or not. Nothing's going to happen to me. Because it can't. I can just hop onto the server. I don't own anything. I can't be camped. I can't lose anything. So I'm not inclined to watch my mouth. There's a saying by Robert Heinlein. An armed society is a polite society. That saying isn't about owning weapons. That saying basically means people who run their mouth, they're going to think a bit twice about it if there's a chance that they might have to defend it physically with aggression. But the most important takeaway from all of this is that people are crying for CIG to do something. And this is on Reddit. And as we all know, Redditors are stupid. Okay, that's why they post on Reddit. And they will go out there and they will go on their crusades because this is how they, in their minds, are making a difference. They won't do any community service. They won't, work at an animal shelter or a homeless shelter or anything like that because that requires effort. But what they will do is go on Reddit and appeal to authority, appeal to the hall monitor, and go out there and say, Sig, you gotta ban these guys. They're ruining the game. It's awful. They're toxic, and I think one of them was dressed up like Hitler. If SIG was to give in to that, they have just opened up another vector of attack for players to use. It will not stop the out-of-game nonsense, but what it will do is encourage more out-of-game nonsense. It will encourage more player versus developer. Is there an org in the game that is defeating your org and beating you up? Okay, let's do some psyops, let's get some dirt and some intel, let's orchestrate a Reddit thread, and let's get SIG to try and ban them. Let's manufacture some controversy. That's what will happen if CIG takes steps to punish players for something they may or may not have done out of the game. If they do something in-game, totally bring the hammer down on them. I don't want to play with cheaters. I don't want to play at rats or griefers. I don't want that in my game. If they're going at a game and doing something they shouldn't be doing, then by all means appeal to the authorities. Go through the proper channels. Put the effort in. But again, that's the key word here. They don't care. If they cared, they'd put in the real effort to get the real results. But what they really care about is getting their enemies removed from the game. And make no mistake, I'm not condoning anything that may or may not have happened. What I am saying is I very, very highly doubt that all of this concern trolling is done out of actual, genuine, sincere care for Star Citizen or its community.